is true, that doesn't make it any easier for the I'll say the Pat Vitale family, family and friends, because they suffered a loss in this case. And so nothing I do or say can make that okay. Your statement to me now, Mr. Young, is I believe that you mean it. I actually don't have any thought that you're trying to put on an act for the court today. The unfortunate part, though, is the day of the accident, where a lot of these rumors could have been quashed, weren't able to be because you didn't remain on the scene. And Mr. Simon kind of goes through the legal aspect of that and the elements of the count in the statute. And I don't know what prompted you to leave the scene that day, Mr. Young. I mean, we didn't have a trial on that. There wasn't evidence before the court. I can't make any conclusions about why you did. But the one thing I can say is, because you did, there are no real answers. And so both of the daughters of Ms. Vitale sort of talk about rumor in a small town. And I'm from a small town too, and I understand how that works. But a lot of those rumors that frankly are maybe more negative to you, toward you, than perhaps are warranted, might have been, stymied had you stayed on scene. Some of the rumors about whether or not you had been drinking before, and people were talking about like smelling alcohol in you, I have no idea if any of that's true. But if it wasn't true, then had you stayed on the scene, that would have all been cleared up. If it was true, Mr. Young, then you made some very poor decisions at a time where you were probably scared to death yourself, and left this family with an unanswerable loss. And I'm not unaware of people sometimes, if they are in a bad situation, make poor choices. I mean, that's kind of being human sometimes. And so, now you're in a legal system and you've got a good lawyer who's advised you about what to say and what not to say, and you need to listen to his advice. But we're kind of left with all these questions here. And so you have pled guilty to a crime that is punishable by incarceration. It is punishable from some other regulations or restrictions or oversight from probation. And so now I'm left with what is constructive for your life. What, if anything, brings any healing to the Vitale family? I mean, there's nothing I can do that brings them any peace or solitude or comfort. They have asked that I sentence you to the maximum that I can sentence you to. And so, that usually doesn't happen. I mean, if somebody enters a plea agreement and they proceed under that plea agreement, generally speaking, I sentence them to what that agreement is. And then we sort of take a look at what probation recommends after it does its due diligence and does the research. I listen to the impact of the crime on family and friends. And I candidly listen to you, sir. I mean, your lawyer I listen to because I have to. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, for you, sir, I do. I mean, I listen to what people tell me, and it impacts what I do. Like a lot of cases, though, this is one where there's no easy or good answer, because that family is hurting. And I believe you when you tell me you are too. So what do I make of that? How do I make that right? I don't really know. So to the best of my ability, given what you've been charged with, given with what you've pled guilty to, I am going to sentence you to something that I am hoping is somewhat constructive. So, as it relates to count 2, which is failure to stop at the scene of an accident resulting in serious impairment or death, there are guideline sentencing recommendations that were originally 0 to 17 months, though the modification would make them 0 to 11 months. It is the sentence of the court that you serve 18 months probation, subject to the following special conditions. Number 1, you must not use or possess alcoholic beverages or other intoxicants. You must not enter bars or other places where the primary purpose is to serve alcoholic beverages for drinking on site unless the field agent has first given you written permission for your employment at a specific location. Number 2, you must comply with the requirements of alcohol testing directed by the field agent. You must not attempt to submit any fraudulent or adulterated samples for testing. You must not hinder, obstruct, tamper, or otherwise interfere with the testing procedures. You must present proper identification at the time of testing. Number 3, you must comply with the requirements of drug testing directed by the field agent. You must not attempt to submit any fraudulent or adulterated samples for testing. You must not hinder, obstruct, tamper, or otherwise interfere with the testing procedures. You must present proper identification at the time of testing. Number 4, you must waive confidentiality and allow any treatment program that you are required to attend to disclose information to your field agent. Number 5, you must obey all court orders. Number 6, you must not engage in any assaultive, abusive, threatening, or intimidating behavior. Number 7, you must not change residence unless you first obtain written permission from the field agent. Number 8, you must comply with written or verbal orders made by the field agent. Number 9, you must submit to a search of your person and property, including but not limited to your vehicle, residence, and computer, without the need of a warrant if the field agent has reasonable cause to believe you have items which violate the conditions of your probation. Number 10, you must report any arrest or any police contact, loss of employment, or change of residence to the field agent within 24 hours, weekends, and holidays accepted. Number 11, you must not drive a motor vehicle while your driver's license is suspended. Number 12, you must serve jail time as follows. You are to serve 40 days in the Washtenaw County Jail with credit for 0 days served. I'm ordering that you serve 20 days immediately, and I'll tell you when to report when I. The balance of the 20 days is to be completed by the end of your probation, but based on your medical condition and the imminent birth of your child, I'm not going to order that you serve 40 consecutive now because I'm concerned that you are needing treatment, and I'm also concerned that your baby is going to be born while you're in custody. So I am going to order that you serve 20 now and 20 to be finished before you're done with probation. Number 13, you must comply with DNA testing and pay a $60 fee as ordered by the court. Number 14, you must pay a $68 state cost as ordered by the court. Number 15, you must pay a crime victim assessment in the amount of $130 as ordered by the court. Number 16, pursuant to MCL 791.225A as amended by Public Act 164 of 2019, you must pay a supervision fee of $30 per month for each month of regular supervision or $60 per month for each month of electronic monitoring supervision. You will not be required to pay a supervision fee to Michigan if and when you were supervised in another state under the provisions of the Interstate Probation and Parole Compact pursuant to MCL 798.103. You must, number 17, you must pay court costs of $1,611 as ordered by the court. That is suspended upon successful completion of all other terms of probation. Number 18, you must not use any object as a weapon. You must not own, use, or have under your control or area of control a weapon of any type or any imitation of a weapon. You must not be in the company of anyone you know to possess these items. You must not own or possess a weapon of any type or any imitation thereof, any ammunition or any firearm components. I'm also adding an additional condition 19, so the council wouldn't have had an opportunity to opine or comment on this. I am adding it, however, today. Mr. Young, I don't know if you have a problem with drinking. I don't know if, in fact, you were drinking at all this day, but some of the allegations surrounding this case are that you were. I don't know the answer to that. But I do know that, you know, this situation occurred, and I want to do whatever I can to address a problem should it be there. So I am ordering that when you are not in custody in the Washtenaw County Jail, that you attend AA or another probation approved program 5 times per week for the first 6 months of your probation, and then thereafter 3 times a week for the balance of your probation. Again, I want to be clear in why I'm doing that. If you have a problem drinking, sir, this is a time to take care of that. If that's the case, it obviously resulted in some serious impairment of your life, if that's the case. If it's not the case, you're expecting the birth of your first child. We are trying to deal with this issue. And in the event that that is even on your horizon, I do want to do what I can to try to offer something constructive. If this is just a big waste of time because you actually don't have a drinking problem, then I'm sorry for that waste of your time, but it will not last forever. It's only 18 months. So to the extent that I can offer any comfort to Ms. Vitale's family as it relates to that sentence, I want you to know that I have heard you and I have read what you have written, and I am compassionate in the amount that I can be, to the extent that I've addressed, what I keep referring to as a constructive sentence for you, Mr. Young, that takes into account your remorse and your sorrow as expressed today, your obvious physical issues that are today, as well as hopefully something constructive going forward. I want you to know that I do think about these things, and I have done that. There is a provision, Mr. Young, that if you serve half your probation and complete the required programming, you may be eligible for early discharge. Your probation officer, or you could petition the court for that. You would have a hearing on that, and I would, engage in that discussion at that time. You should also note that you'll be provided an appellate rights form. In this case, because you are pleading or you pled, you have the right to file an application for leave to appeal the court's decisions, and the form explains that. The important thing is that if you wanted a court-appointed attorney, you would have to ask for that in writing within 42 days of today's date. So Mr. Simon would be able to get that form to you, and he will do so. As it relates to your reporting to the Washtenaw County Jail, it's Monday afternoon, sir. You're sitting there in a brace, and I understand. I guess what I wanted to ask you is, do you have any pending medical appointments in the next couple of days, or can we just get this part of it done right now?
I do, but I'm willing to. One, we've been waiting to get in for a while, but just go in and get it done. I don't know.
I'm going to have you report by 5 p.m. tomorrow afternoon to the Washtenaw County Jail then.
All right, and tonight, is that okay?
Well, on or before 5 p.m. tomorrow, so that you can talk to Mr. Simon about other options, but okay.
Yes, I'll take care of that, Your Honor. Thank you.